on releasing the hips and the low back. Finding a comfy seat, and feel free to have a little fidget to start if you need to take some shoulder rolls, or make sure you've got a tall spine, and it may be that you might want to sit on a cushion just to give yourself a little bit of height. Find a gentle tuck of your chin, lengthen the back of your neck, and soften your gaze or close your eyes. And just see how quickly you can land here today. And allow your day to fade into the background. And just take in all of your awareness on the here and the now. And just take a moment to check in, see how you are. And as ever, whatever that is, you're very, very welcome here this evening. Let's see if we can start to direct our attention to the breath. If you can, take your breath in and out through the nose. And we're consciously going to expand the breath. So as you breathe in, allowing the belly and the chest to expand. As you breathe out, allow it to relax. And particularly focusing on expanding your belly. On the inhale, it inflates like a balloon. On the exhale, it relaxes. Continue like this in your own breath. And perhaps with each exhale, see if you can allow yourself to be a little bit more relaxed. A little bit more attentive. Taking 2 more of these belly breaths. And on your next inhale, allow the arms to float up. Tense your shoulders. And then drop it down. We'll do that again, breathing in. And as you drop it, really let your breath come out through your mouth. Nice, let's do one more. Reach that right hand out to the side and stretch into the side body. Breathe in, let the hands come up. Breathe out, take it to the other side. Breathe in, arms come up. And this time we rotate. Let the hand come to the opposite knee, have a little look behind you. Breathe in, back to the center. Breathe out to rotate. And this time breathe your arms wide, spread your fingers, lift your chest. And breathe out round. And open. And round. One more time, open those arms. Let the hands come behind you. Let your hands come together. Link the hands down and away. Open your chest. And the option to bow forward. If you came forwards, draw yourself back up. Give those hands a little shake. Kick out your feet. And find your way over, and we'll sink back to child's pose. So allow your knees to come out wide, big toes touch. Sinking the hips back and stretching the chest down. And just check that your head easily finds the ground, or for the next couple of breaths, just pop your cushion under. And on your next inhale, draw yourself to a tabletop, taking the hands under your shoulders, knees under hips. And as you breathe in, arch and open and look up. And as you breathe out, round your spine. So coming through these two postures, move with your own breath. As you do this, feel into the spine. We're going to be releasing and opening the back today. But if you've got any pain or tension, you're going to have to be careful to just check that nothing irritates. So really feel in as we move if anything doesn't feel good in your body. And on your next inhale, let the hands come a little wider, tuck the toes, floating the hips up for downward facing dog. And we're going to walk your heels up and down, stretching into your back body. And then keeping your knees soft, gently pressing your chest down, come into stillness for 3 breaths. Spread and root the hands. Gaze looks between the feet. Deep and full breath. And on your next inhale, send your right leg out behind you, 3-legged dog. And as you breathe out, step it forward. Allow the left knee to come down. Pad it if you need to. And come onto your fingertips and start to move yourself forwards and back. Starting to wake up our hips. A really important part of the back feeling lovely and loose, particularly the low back, is making sure that our hips are mobile enough. On the next inhale, taking the hands up to your right knee, lift your chest. And breathe the left arm up. Pull in through your belly, lift the chest, and lean to your right side. If you feel a bit wobbly, you can always move this right foot a bit wider. Let's take one more breath here. Floating that left hand to the ground. And open up the right side, sort of stretching, reaching and opening. One more breath. And float that hand down, frame the foot, and tuck the back toes so you're in your low lunge. And just move forwards and back again. Or you might do some little circles. Going one way, circle the other way. And then step that foot back into your plank position. You can always do plank on your knees. We're aiming pretty much for the hips to be in line with the shoulders. Gentle tuck of your chin. And we need to breathe. So there's a tendency to hold the breath. Can we take one more breath? Nice, let's all drop our knees for this round. Wrap the elbows, slowly take the chest all the way to the ground. And breathe in for spins, taking the forearms down, lift the chest. Stretch your feet down. This stretch should feel great on the low back. If it doesn't, you could try a wide spins, taking your hands outwards. Or just avoid back bends for tonight, and you can always take your head down. So just one more full breath. And we're transitioning back to downward dog, so exhaling down. And you might peel or power your way back up and taking a breath out as you land. Through the mouth. Shake the head, yes, shake the head, no. Make sure no tension is built up there. And on your next inhale, extending your left leg. Push the foot away. And then a big step forward. Dropping the knee. Coming onto our fingertips. And moving forwards and back. Nice. Be curious, see if one hip feels any different to the other. Such is the delight of the human body. And on your next inhale, take your hands up to the knee, lift your chest. And then breathe your right arm up. Pulling in with your belly, lift up. And as you breathe out, lean into that left side. One more breath. Awesome. Float that right hand down. Opening out to the side of the left arm. Float it down, frame your foot, tuck the back toe, finding low lunge. And maybe these small circles. Go one way, swap it over, and take the foot back to plank. 3 breaths here. Remember your choices of dropping the knees. Push the ground away, deep and full breath. Let's hear one more breath. Wrap the elbows, slowly take the chest all the way to the ground. Very nice. Breathe into the Sphinx or one of your variations. Turn your head to the left and half circle the neck. I'm going to look to the right, little half circle. Lovely. On the exhale, float down. Find your transition to downward dog. Remember, you can always take it steady. Come in via child's pose if you prefer. Perhaps a little breath out as you land. Stay in here for 2 more breaths. And on your next inhale, we'll float up the right leg again, but this time we'll bend the knee and open the hip. So we're encouraging the left heel down. Try and square off your shoulders. Taking one more breath. And stepping forward into warrior 1. Rooting down the back heel. Breathe your arms up, bending into your front knee. Nice. Breathe in, tense the shoulders. And just drop the arms. Let's take them out of it a sec. Pop the hands onto the hips and just encourage your hips to face the front of your mat. So there'll be a tendency for the hips to turn this way. So we're going to try, if we can, to square them off. So your right hip is pulling back, the left hip is pulling forward. And throughout this sequence, we're going to try and stay in this alignment. Maybe, if we can. Keep activating your back leg. So you're pushing that back heel down to make this leg nice and solid. Option today is to keep the hands here or to reach them up. Take a breath in. Those with the arms up, let them come with your body as you start to lean forward. So I'm only coming part way forwards first, pulling in through your centre. Keep strong in the lower body. Taking one more breath. Option to stay high or to continue forwards. If you reach this leg, you're very welcome to let the hands come to the floor and to bow over. On your next inhale, draw in through your belly. Reach the arms out in front of you. Come part way up and then we'll be floating into our warrior 3. Taking the weight into the right leg, floating the back leg off, maybe coming further forward, squaring off those hips if you can. Taking one more breath and see if you can land into high lunge. Oh, trust that the mat is there. Well done. Come up on your back toe. Reach those arms up, sink back down. Awesome. If you feel a bit wobbly, just step that foot a little wider. Great. Taking one more breath. And let's take the hands down. We're back into our lunge, moving forwards and back again. And then allow the knee to drop and breathe the arms up for crescent lunge. Reach and stretch up. Relax your shoulders and open your chest. Take a breath here. As you breathe out, allow the front leg to start to straighten and take a little bow forwards. On the inhale, send the arms back up. Yeah, that's great. If the arms are a bit too complicated, very welcome to just try the lower body. And only come as far forward as your right leg feels good. So we start to open the back of the thigh here. up. Let's take our arms a little wider just to relax our shoulders down. One more breath here. And as you breathe out, float the hands down. Find in plank. Just one breath this time. As we transition into Vinyasa, taking the chest down. Breathing into a back bend, so you're welcome to repeat your spins. You might find Cobra, taking the hands a little closer, your chest a little higher. Some of you might be working with Upward Dog, only if you can relax your shoulders away and then maybe the knees power off the ground. One more breath. And transitioning back to Downward Dog. Tuck your toes, squeeze the elbows. And take a little breath out as you land. There's no rush to get here, but start to walk your hands back towards your feet. And we're coming into a forward fold. And my version is with the feet hip width apart. I'd like your knees to be super bent, so your belly is pretty much touching your thighs. And let's take hold of the opposite elbow and just gently rock side to side. Nice. On your next inhale, breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, fold. Breathe in with length in your spine, take the arms all the way up. And let your hands come into your heart center. Hold it here, let your awareness come back to your breath. Check back in, see how your body feels. And breathe your arms back up. As you breathe out, forward fold, bend your knees as you come down, nice. Breathe in, half lift, hands to shins. Breathe out, fold. Walk yourself back out to a plank position. Remember, you can drop your knees. We're only here for one breath this time. And then we'll all drop our knees and sink back to child's pose. Take a breath out as you land. Allowing the hips to sink back, allow the shoulders to relax away. Take that right hand just off the right side of your mat. Pop the left hand on top. Breathe into your side body. Might be a little look under your left armpit. Take that left hand over, pop the right hand on top. Come back to the center. Walk yourself up to a kneeling position briefly. If this doesn't work in your body, you're welcome to have the hips higher. Just let that left hand come to the ground just behind you and breathe the right arm up. If your head and neck feel happy, start to look up. If that's comfortable, you've got the option to push the hips up as well. Breath in here. As you breathe out, float the hips back down. Let the right hand come just behind you. Breathe the left arm up. Check that you want to look up. And then perhaps add in the hips. Float them back down. Find your way back to downward facing dog. As you land, step that right foot behind your left. Let the toes find the ground and push your hips backwards. See if you can feel the stretch all the way in the back of your body. Step that right foot back. Cross the left foot behind. Let the toes find the ground and push backwards. and step the foot back. Breathe that left leg up, three-legged dog, bend the knee and open the hip. Squaring off through the shoulders. One more breath in. And stepping that leg through, set up for warrior one. Rooting down that knee, breathe the arms up. Tense the shoulders and drop it. Nice. Let's just pop our hands onto the hips again and really work at squaring ourselves off. This back foot is on about a 45-degree angle. We're going to keep this back leg nice and active. You might decide to keep the hands here, that's quite a nice option. Otherwise, adding them in. And as you breathe out, let's try that lean forward. Tucking in the chin, putting some strength through the lower body. Drawing in through the belly, just a little bit of core activation. One more breath. And the option to continue forward and maybe bow over that front leg. Letting the spine round. Keep activating the back leg. And now start to reach those hands forward once more. Look forward for warrior three. Very welcome to stay high. So this is also warrior three. Or you might commit to the balance a little bit more. Maybe aiming for parallel with the ground with your body. Breathe. One more breath. And see if you can land high lunge. And reach and stretch up. Hey, well done. Sinking down. We'll just take one breath here today. Awesome. Let the hands float back down. Stay in this low lunge as you move forwards and back. Waking up those hips once more. And let the back knee drop and breathe the arms up for crescent lunge. As you breathe out, we're straightening the front leg and taking the lean forwards. As we breathe in, we're sinking in and opening. Flow like this. Really feel into each posture. The head might be following the posture as well if that feels good. Next time you're in present lunge, let's hold that posture. Relax the shoulders down, maybe take the arms a little wider. One more breath. Awesome, float it down. Finding your plank. And find your vinyasa, taking your chest down. Breathe into a back bend that feels delightful in your spine. One more breath, relax the shoulders away. And transitioning back to downward facing dog. Maybe a breath out as you land. And we're walking our hands back into forward fold. Option this time. Peace fingers, index and middle, taking hold of the big toes. Elbows may come out to the side and bow yourself over. Making sure you're keeping your breath deep and full. One more breath. And we're sinking down to yogi squat, so letting go of the feet, step them a little wider. Allow the feet to turn out as the hips sink down. And the hands may come into the heart center. See what happens with your heels. It's okay if they come off the ground. Try not to tense the jaw. Let go of those teeth. See if we can keep lifting the chest. Breathe. Taking one more breath. And then see if you're able to stand straight up or safely finding your way up And have a little shake. Have a little jiggle. Check this one first. Just see if it feels good for you to do today. Soft knees, breathe in, and we breathe out and swoop. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out through your mouth. So it's like a discharge breath. One more. Awesome. Lovely. Come back to the head of your mat. Spread your toes, spread your feet. Taking your hands into your heart center. Softening the gaze a moment just so you can take your awareness back inwards once more. Breathe the arms up. Breathe out, forward fold. Bend your knees. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, fold. Step or jump to plank. 2 breaths here. Come through your vinyasa. Breathe into a back bend that feels delightful for your spine. If you're coming up high, relax your shoulders. Find your way to downward dog. There's absolutely no rush to get here. When you arrive, take in 3 full breaths. Then we're going to breathe our right leg up, push the ball of the foot away, and we're stepping forward into pigeon. So we're coming onto the shin of the right leg and sliding down. With your right hand, feel under the right hip and see if there's a gap there. If there is, it'd be better to put a cushion or a block there, because we're going to stay for a couple of minutes. And you square off your hips to the front. Take a breath. If this gives any tension in your low back, take the hands further forward straight away. But if this feels okay, relax the shoulders, staying up a little higher. One more breath. And on the exhale, find your journey forwards. That might be onto your forearms, or make a little pillow with the hands. But in this hip opener, we are here for a little bit of time. So just see how much you can let go. And the key to doing this is to focus on the breath. And particularly to focus on your exhale. So you see over the next few breaths if you can lengthen the exhale. Can you find a bit more space? Be aware of tension patterns, so really common ones are the shoulders to tense, possibly the jaw. So notice if you need to let anything more go there. And just see if you can be with this posture for another 5 full breaths. On your next inhale, if you're not already, start to draw yourself back up. And again, let's root our hands down, and if it feels okay for your spine, just lift the chest for a couple of breaths here. And then if you've used a prop, just slide it out your way and let your right hip find the ground. And we're going to come to a hurdle position. And what this is pretty much 90 degrees in both knees. Front shin parallel with the short end, back shin kind of parallel with the long end. Yeah, nice drive. And then see if you can square the chest off to the front. We'll do a little bit of mobility work. We've done this a couple of times before. And I'll give you some choices. So the first one is to have both of your hands down. So I've got my right and left hand down on the ground. And then just control your body weight forwards and come back up. So I'm leaning over that front right leg. And you'll probably get a stretch in the glutes as you come up and down. That might feel fine, or you might want to try taking the hands off. It's a lot harder. You might even cross the hands over the shoulders. If you really want a challenge, you put your hands either side of your ears, almost like a sit-up position, which feels it's really difficult, isn't it? Oh. Let's just do one more, whichever version you're doing. Oh, well done. Let your hands come down a moment, just take a little breath here. Let your right hand come to your side, stretch your left arm up and just lean away, stretch out. And it may be that you push up slightly onto that back knee and let the hips come off the ground. Lovely, float it back down. We'll do one more today. And this one we're going to involve the back leg. So again, you can have your right hand down for a bit of support to start to feel into the movement. You can almost lean away slightly. And then you pick up your left leg and allow it to extend forwards. And then you take it back in a really controlled way. If that feels okay, you know where this is going. You let go, have your hands in front of you, and it's a lot harder. The next stage is to try not to lean to the right side. So you try and keep your body in the centre and just move the leg. I find it's a little bit crampy, this one. I feel like my left glute may go into cramp. So please do the option that feels good in your body. Or good, I mean, good's the right word. Some way helpful. Well done. When you've come back into your hurdle position, hold it there. Let your hands come down. Walk the hands over to your right side slightly. See if you can come onto your forearms or a cushion and just bow the head down. Draw yourself back up onto your hands. Root both hands down. Tuck your back toe. And see if you can float straight up to three-legged dog on the right. Give that leg a big old kick out. Bend the knee and open the hip. Taking one breath. Step that right leg forward into a high lunge. Breathe the arms up. Just for one breath. Nice. Breathe out. Step back into your plank. Coming through your vinyasa, or you're welcome to rest in child's pose. Feel free to miss this out. Make sure that back bend feels delightful. Again, welcome to come to child's pose at this point, or come up to downward dog. Either way, take a big breath out through your mouth. We're here for 4 breaths. See if you can melt into your posture. If you're in your child's pose, find your way back up. Only briefly as we breathe our left leg up. And we step forward into pigeon. Taking the shin down, sliding down. You'll be reaching under your left hip this time to see if you need a little cushion there for a bit of support or a block. Nice. We'll stay up high to begin, so just see if your low back likes this. If it doesn't, it's probably better to step the hands further away. Root the hands down, relax your shoulders and lift your chest. Taking one more breath. Nice. Let's find our journey downwards. It might be onto your forearms, maybe use a cushion or floating down. Notice what your tendency might be. Are you a bit of a fidget? Or are you quite rigid? Perhaps see today if you could do the opposite. Stay with the posture for another 3 full breaths. And start to draw yourself up. Just checking that this feels okay on your spine as we just take a couple of breaths lifting up. And if you've used a prop, just sliding that out of your way. Allow the hip to come down. And again, we're going to find that hurdle position. Great. So again, squaring off the knee, both sides. And then you're turning your chest towards the front. And initially, we'll have 2 hands down for support. And we can just support our body coming forwards and coming back. So take as much weight into your arms as you need. Almost like a little prayer as you come forwards and back. Middle part of my chest is draping over the front now. And obviously if you don't go that far, that's absolutely fine, just go as far as you want. You might find to take one hand off. You might ignore me completely because this one's horrible. Taking the hands off. Maybe the hands come by the ears. Well done. Good, coming back up. Oh, take a moment. Let the left hand come down. Breathe the right hand up and have a nice little stretch to the side. And then if you do want to go a bit deeper, we lift the hips, pivot on that back knee. Nice, float it down. So now we're going to think about our back leg. I recommend you put your left hand down first and sort of lean away to see how it feels first. And picking up your right leg, extend it forwards and then control and place it back down. Again, to make it harder, you might be letting go but still leaning quite a lot. Or if you'd really like the challenge, try and keep yourself upright and just move that leg. So you're really trying not to move any other part of your body, which is super hard. You probably will move the hips slightly. Well done. Nice. When you're back in your hurdle, stay there. Let the hands come down. Walk over to the left hand slightly. And let yourself flop down. See where the head falls and take some full and deep breaths. Finding your way back up. We're almost coming to the ground. Just a little bit to finish. Place those hands down, extend your back leg so you can get the back toes tucked. See if you feel happy to come straight up to 3-legged dog, giving that leg a good old shake as you land. Bend the knee and open the hip. Stepping forward into your high lunge briefly. Just for one breath, we're reaching the arms up. Sinking down, floating yourself down. A good time to rest in child's pose or one more vinyasa. Coming down, breathing into that back bend that feels good in your spine. Coming into downward facing dog. And then we're all coming down, if you're not already, into child's pose. See if you can stretch your spine down. Taking full and deep breath. Walking your hands up. If it feels okay again to be kneeling briefly. Allowing that left hand to come behind you. Breathe that right arm up. And again, the option to add in the hips. Maybe come a bit more into the back bend now if that feels good for you. Floating back down. Let that right hand come down. Reach and stretch up. And the option to add in the hips or the back bend. Float it down. If it works for you, let your ankles cross to take a seat. If that doesn't quite work, find your way into a seated position. Taking the soles of your feet together. Give those knees a little flutter. And have a look in this position how easy it is to be upright. If you're finding you're a little collapsed in your spine, it would be better to sit on a cushion or a block. Have a little rock side to side. Have another little flutter. Great. Draw those knees back together, let the feet come down. Pop your hands either side of you and just allow the knees to windscreen wipe side to side. Little push at the hip as you come across. Good mobilising one to do this. And then come to the centre, root the feet down. I quite like my hands pointing out to the side with this, so just check if that feels okay on your wrists. Press down, see if the hips will float off the ground. If not, stay low. If they do, you're welcome to continue up, and you may, keeping the chin tucked if you can, come to reverse table. Pushing the hips up, take a full and deep breath. And float the hips back down. We're going to find our way onto our back. If rollbacks feel good, go for it. If this doesn't, then please just safely find your way down. Then you may want to find a cushion for behind your head, just to give that neck a bit of support. And we're going to come into a knee hug once you're there. So I've linked my hands, taking hold of the knees. If this isn't comfy, get a strap instead, so you can start to draw those knees in towards your chest. And gently rock the knees side to side. Circle them one way. And the other way. Nice. Keep hold of your right knee, allow your left leg to find the ground, and if it feels okay, extend that left leg straight. Imagine your left foot is stood on the ground, so you flex in your foot and pulling up through the leg. This will give you a little stretch in the left groin. And then with two hands pulling on the right knee, draw that knee in towards you. If it's hitting your rib cage, then take it slightly out to the side and then pull it in towards you. Keep the head and face completely relaxed. Of course, if this causes you any pain in the groin, please back off. Take a breath in. As you exhale, let that knee come across, so it's coming towards the left side. Not into a twist yet, we're just taking the knee across. So keep that right hip down. Yeah, so just see if you can move that knee across your body, as if it wanted to touch your left shoulder. And now just play with this, circle the knee. Mobilise it, take it side to side. And we're going to come into a twist. So now the knee will go over to the left side. Gently root down your right shoulder and the option to turn the head to the right. Find your way back to the centre and draw both knees back into your chest. Have one hand on each knee and circle those knees away from each other. See how big a circle you can make. And then have a go at circling the opposite way. And then come back to the centre, take hold of your left knee and allow the right leg to extend away. And again, really activate that right leg, so flex the foot. And start to draw that knee in towards the chest. Again, if it's coming into the ribs, just take it a little wider. And then keeping those hips rooted, take a breath in. As you exhale, let that knee come across. And just move the leg. Maybe so far that knee will go, as if it wanted to touch your right shoulder. Again, if it's a bit too pinchy in the groin, please do back off. And then let's mobilise, take that leg out to the side, do some circles. And then we're coming into a twist, so taking that knee across the body, rooting down the left shoulder. Only go as far as it feels delightful. The head might gently turn to the left. Come back into the centre and draw those knees back into the chest. And this time, hold the knees out wide, so we're in a wide knee hug. And I'd like you to think about your spine and see on each exhale if you can relax your spine down a little more. So think about your tailbone. Think about your mid-back, particularly if there's any tension between your shoulder blades. Find a little tuck in of the chin to lengthen the neck. If you can, even think about the shoulder blades relaxing down. It's like the whole of the back of your body is being splatted down. You may find over the next few breaths that a little bit more might give. last few breaths, if it feels good for you, you're welcome to make this a happy baby, reaching for the instep of the feet instead. And allow your feet to find the ground. Keep the knees bent. Just gently windscreen wipe the knees side to side. We're just going to finish with a short breath practice. Your decision if you'd like to do this with butterfly lower body, so that's with the soles of the feet together, the knees out wide. Or particularly if your back is a little tight, it might be better to be in tripod. Have your feet wide and allow the knees to fall together. So finding a position that feels good, and you're welcome to change it over the next few minutes if it doesn't continue to feel good. Encourage you to soften your gaze or close your eyes. And again, let's return to the breath. So return your awareness to your breath. Again, in and out through the nose if you can. And just see if you can start to appreciate a gentle bit of movement in your belly. If it helps, you could always place your hands onto your belly. And just see if you can feel into the gentle rise and fall of the belly with the breath. We're just going to introduce a box breath. And this is where we have a pause in the breath on the inhale and a pause in the breath on the exhale. I'm going to count you through it, but if you know this practice and you know you'd like to hold for longer, you're very welcome to just follow your own breath. So those keeping with me, if you take an exhale now, and then take a breath in, and hold your breath, and breathe out, and hold your exhale. Breathe in, hold your breath, breathe out, and hold the breath. We're going again, but we're going to slow it down a little bit this time. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold. And breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold. Last time. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold. And breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold your breath. Just make it a soft breath hold. When you're ready, taking a full breath in and a full breath out. If you've got your knees wide, you might want to help them back together. And we'll be setting up for our Savasana, our relaxation now. Do take a moment to really get yourself comfy. Those in the room, you've got a blanket and eye mask. You can always pop the cushion under your head. We often don't take enough time to really get ourselves able to rest and relax. So an invitation here to really give yourself a moment. And to keep it practicing at home as well. try not to skip this section. Try and also find a bit of space here to relax. We've moved our body. This bit is just as important. The ease after the effort. So perhaps there's a breath out through your mouth as you relax. See maybe about the hands and the palms facing upwards, just so you can encourage your shoulders down. Don't hold in the feet at all, just allow them to fall out to the side. No tension in your hips or glutes. No need for any holding in your belly. Shoulders are relaxing down and away. Can you find any more space around the jaw? Just allow your tongue to rest in the roof of your mouth. The tip of the tongue just sitting just behind the front teeth. Softly, with the eyes closed if they are. Try not to frown. I'm going to leave you for a minute. So over this time, you're welcome to just allow yourself to just completely be. There's no need to try and control anything, nothing to achieve. And I'll let you know in a moment when to come back. And starting to deepen your breath. Once again, expanding that belly and chest. Drawing in some energy for the rest of your day and your week to come. Find a bit of movement in your fingers and toes. Maybe take a big stretch. And when you're ready, there's no rush. Finding your way via your side and come back to your seated position. And just see if you can keep your gaze low or your eyes closed just for a bit longer. As you land, just taking a little opportunity to check back in again. See what might have shifted in the last hour. And on your next inhale, let's send our arms up. As you breathe out, take the hands into your heart center. Take in the head Hands and heart towards the ground. Send yourself a big load of thanks for showing up this evening. And thank you for sharing in the practice. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.